Well, tonight, the founder and executive director of Syracuse Jazz Fest is hopeful that Governor Cuomo's plan to expand the state fair to 18 days will mean a new home and new life for Jazz Fest.
After a 35-year run, Jazz Fest went dark 2 years ago when corporate support dried up. And now Dan Cummings says Frank Malfitano sees a longer fair as a perfect match for cool jazz in late summer.
Now that the fair is going to 18 days, I thought, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could join forces and move Jazz Fest to the state fair?
It isn't just the 5 extra days for live music at the fair. Governor Cuomo said he's putting $5 million extra into the fair's budget.
When I saw that this was going to be used for a fair expansion and it was announced that it was going to be used for programming, I thought, let me see if there's a way for us to partner. I love the fair. I've always loved the fair. I've loved the fair since I was a kid. I think it's the right site.
Malfitano's proposal, which he outlined in person 8 days ago to the fair director, is to start small this year with at least 2 days of the fair hosting Jazz Fest.
Any 2 days back-to-back that work for them, fine. I mean, I don't expect them to accept the full Jazz Fest model and format and template and plunk it down in the middle of a fair that's been around for over 100 years. I mean, we would work together to design it. So if they wanted multiple stages to move Jazz Fest around the fairgrounds so people could see the different exhibits, we can do it that way. If they wanted it at Chevy Court, great. If they wanted it at the new Experience stage, it's entirely up to them. We left the proposal very open-ended.
And that open-endedness includes booking the jazz acts themselves.
If they have a contract that specifically says we have to work with Live Nation or Triangle Talent, I would work with them. We would sit down in conference and I would make my recommendations and I'd say, here's who you go with. And the first person I'd suggest would be Tony Bennett. A New York-based guy. And I'd go with a New York-centric lineup because there's great jazz from the tip of Montauk Point on Long Island all the way to Buffalo. After 35 years, and this is 48 years of presenting for me, Dan, after this length of time, I'm ready to step away from the day-to-day. But I really have a mission, and that mission is to make sure Jazz Fest continues in this community.
Malfitano's 2-page written proposal asks for a 2-day talent budget for Jazz Fest at the fair, somewhere between $250,000 and $300,000 out of that $5 million earmarked for the longer fair. He tells me there is a sense of urgency about this because after 2 dark years for Jazz Fest, the event needs to find both a new home and a new source of ongoing financial support. An 18-day state fair, he says, with money behind it, provides both of those things. Dan Cummings, News Channel 9.
Dan, thank you. And late today, State Fair spokesman Dave Bullard released this statement to News Channel 9. We have the greatest respect for Frank Malfitano and the festival. We let him know that the proposed appropriation, if approved, is already fully dedicated to the increased salary and operational cost of the 18-day fair, but that we will give his proposal serious consideration.